Hey, it's Dan. Welcome back. This is iAllegedly, and got a good one for you today. I am at the National Association of Broadcasters show in Las Vegas. Wow, this thing is huge, and what a difference this is over the the hardware show. There's a ton of people here, and wow, everything from streaming, everything from influencers, everything from YouTube. It's all here, and this is crazy, 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 crazy. But a lot to talk about in the economy. And, Mark Cuban issued a warning of things that we need to stock up on. Get ready. And articles are below, but hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. I want to cover some of this stuff because it makes a lot of sense. And whenever I do research for a video, sometimes I find things that I'm like, how did I never find this before? And there is a company called Kane Health, Kane Health. Not a sponsor, never heard of them until this morning. And what Kane Health does is they have a list, it's a 28-page list of suggestions and things that you need to have in your household. And it is awesome. It really, really is. And what they do is they have this thing, set your clocks, check your stock. In other words, when you change your clocks ahead and back, you should check your stock and check your, everything that you have compiled, to have for, whether it be medicine, food, water, whatever. But I want to go through some of this stuff because Mark Cuban's like, hey, listen, Mark Cuban's now man of the people. Don't forget that. Mark Cuban is now, he's, there to save us all. And just ask him, and he'll be the first one to tell you this. So, great list, flashlights, manual can opener, battery operated radio, which is a great thing to have. Everybody should have that. Utility knives, matches, paper and pencil, cash. We've all said that. Garbage bags, pet food, all this stuff, needle and thread. I mean, it's great. The list, though, when it comes to personal items, it just continues. And extra prescription glasses. One thing that I can tell you, when my girlfriend was ill, one thing that I was so grateful for is that, with the nurses and everybody coming in and out of the house, her going to the bathroom, her taking showers and stuff, things get lost. Things, get moved, and you have people in the house that have not been there before. So things like prescription glasses, it was so great that we had the backup pair. Oh, here's where the other ones were left. So it was never an issue. Hearing aid batteries for people, denture cream, and everything you need. An extra sleeping bag. Do you know where all your certificates are? Birth certificates, marriage certificates, death certificates, insurance policies. Do you know how to get to those right now? Contracts, deeds, stocks, bonds, passports, immunization records, your bank account numbers. This is stuff that you should have for your family members anyways. There should be a spot to go to, because when you look at everything that's happened over the last 6 months, from hurricanes to floods to tornadoes this last week to the fires to everything, you cannot be stocked up enough. And I cannot emphasize this enough. Now, the grocery list, bottled water, canned juice, canned or boxed milk, the stuff that lasts a long time. If you're into almond milk, that stuff can last years. And canned fruits, canned beans, corn, peaches, peanut butter and jelly, just the essentials. But this list that they came up with was really solid, and I'll leave the link below for you. But you can't be ready enough right now to sit there and panic. Do not panic right now. This is going to get worked out, and I want everybody to understand that. Will we see instability in the market? Yes, 100%. But from all the experts I've talked to and some really, really, really successful people just over today, I'm telling you, they all believe that this is not it. This is not the problem. This is the beginning of the problem. And with that being said, there's going to be a lot more things that are going to hit the marketplace. The real estate market is going to have its day of reckoning. the insurance industry right now is such a problem because the heartland, middle of the country, that has never had an insurance issue ever, now has insurance problems. It's a great article below talking about how people that are dealing with floods and everything I just talked about, the hurricanes and tornadoes, these people cannot get insurance to save their lives right now. And the one thing that you can guarantee right now, if you are looking at a house, or you're looking at your insurance renewal, is that your homeowner's insurance policy is going to go through the flipping roof. It is going to be so expensive right now that you haven't seen anything yet. So, let me know what you think about this. I just think that it's going to go up exponentially. How much? Who knows? Who knows? Here's the one thing that blew me away. People are delaying children, teens, getting their driver's license. I am telling you, here in California, 15 and a half, you can get your learner's permit when I was a kid. I'm telling you, I went down, took that test, got my learner's permit, and I passed it, then I could drive with adults and would drive them everywhere like it was crack. Where do you want to go? I'll take you. You know what I mean? So I got the experience behind the wheel. On my 16th birthday, I was there first in line for the DMV to get my driver's license. And what did my mom do? Hey, listen, you're going to be added to my insurance policy. Oh, cool, great, thanks, Mom. No. You're going to pay for this, son. Now, it was $29 a month back then. 29 bucks a month, yeah. That's what it cost me to be on her policy to have insurance. It's the price of driving. Kids today are putting off everything, delaying it. Oh, it's because they don't want to have insurance. Oh, insert swear word here. That's not the case, guys. Kids are just different today. Kids are lazy today. Kids are putting it off 2 and 3 years because they're unmotivated. That's the problem that we've raised. We've raised a bunch of kids that don't want to succeed, that don't want to move ahead. Okay? Correct me if I'm wrong. If you live in a community where you don't drive, maybe you live in New York City or something like that, I get it. I really do. But I just think it's wild that these kids are not going out and getting their learner's permits and driving at a reasonable age. What do you guys think about this? So there is everything here, guys. Every single technological advancement. You got every big company, every small company here. It's a very, very cool show. But, what do you want to learn about as far as, the broadcasting industry, connectivity? And then they've got, not only do you have the big companies here that are like offering different services from streaming to video play to radio play, all that stuff, but they have all the technical stuff and all the wires, the cables, the cameras, all that stuff. And it's just, if you're on the technical side of this industry, there's multiple conference rooms with this. So, I'm telling you, man, all the different TV channels are here, lots of different stuff. So, let me know what you think about this. It is wild to think about people that are starting to warn you, like Mark Cuban. Mark Cuban's saving the day right now, which is funny to me. Let me know what you think about this so far. It's a lot more to cover. BlackRock was at the Economic Forum in New York talking about how we are in a recession. Most executives, most CEOs of large companies feel that there is an economic pullback right now and that the Trump tariff talk is only bringing this to light. And if everybody accepts that, then we're better off. I'm telling you this right now, that I think that this is going to get much worse before it gets better. Is it going to get much worse? By 5 o'clock? No. Soon? Yes. When? I don't know. But if you prepare for that, just like stocking up, there's nothing wrong with preparing yourself for this stuff. And Larry Fink, people think that guy's just a complete A-clown, and the first word is ass. So you get it. You know what I mean? The guy's not liked by a lot of people, But, most assets under management. He thinks that this is a recession right now. And when you see buildings, this guy's sitting around inside a little glass booth. When you see buildings go at 75, 80, 90% discounts, that is the beginning of this, guys. That's the beginning of this. People are cutting back in every way, shape, and form. Great story sent to me. Joshua Giacchetti was traveling from Georgia to Bangkok, and on March 28th, tried to leave the hospital. He had a heart attack and was deathly ill. No, you can't leave. You've got to pay your bill. Had to pay $16,000 before he could leave the Bangkok hospital. Well, doesn't your insurance cover it when you go to Bangkok? Nope, it does not. It does not. So travel insurance, it's funny. We get travel insurance. It's like we're going to cancel our insurance. But what about travel health insurance? Anybody ever thought about that one? I never have, guys. And as I get older, I'm kind of reminded of things like this. But this story, an ounce of preparation, guys, and the minimal expense that you would have for this. Now, hey, here's my Bangkok insurance card. I don't know how this would work, and I'm not telling you I have the answers to this. But again, the idea of going to Bangkok, let's see. Where is that on my list? Okay, it's not. So let me know. Hey, how about you people that watched that White Lotus show and were completely destroyed on how bad that turned out? Did you guys follow that? Because I watched the first episode and a half and thought, this sucks. This is the worst show I've ever seen. And I turned it off and had nothing to do with it and would see bits and pieces as I, turned my cable. But it was horrible. And everybody that saw that said it was just absolutely awful. And it was from Thailand. So let me know what you think. Oh, look, I'm in the bowels of the show. So, okay. Anyways, let me know what you think so far. Here's a few things in the news that are worth talking about. Boston Brewery. How do we know them? Well, they own Sam Adams, the beer. Beer's made here in Boston. Well, this was prior to the tariffs being announced, but financially, they couldn't make it, so they filed for bankruptcy. This is a real problem, guys, because everything that you're blaming on the tariffs, not everything is immediate. Business has been bad for the last year and a half, 2 years, and it's catching up to people. It caught up to Boston Brewery. Now, here's another thing that's wild is Warren Buffett sold all his stock and is sitting on $330 billion worth of cash. And he is the only multi-billionaire on top of the Forbes list that made money in 2025. 10 other people that are on that list, they all went down and lost $500 billion, which is $500 billion in net worth since, in just the last few weeks. Isn't that wild to think about? $500 billion. Now, there's people laughing right now going, good. No billionaire deserves that much money. Maybe they don't. Maybe they don't. Now, here's something sick, is that in my home state of California, they just issued a press release. Isn't this great news? They just secured funding for $6 billion in healthcare funding for migrants to pay for migrants. Guys, I'm telling you, I am a single man who pays a fortune for my health insurance, and I have to have it, okay? Look at the Bangkok story, okay? And needless to say, I'm not going to Bangkok anytime soon, but for $6 billion to fund the migrants' healthcare for Medicaid. How do you get on these programs? Let me go to France and sign up for a program, or Switzerland, or someplace nice. Won't be frickin' Bangkok, White Lotus nonsense. You know what I mean? So think about that. We're paying for that. California's going to pay for that. But again, this is the type of stuff that, Governor Newsom is convinced he's going to be our next president. But stories like this are just going to be brought up and regurgitated. Oh, you have to help your fellow man. Yeah, you do. What about our veterans? What about the people that have a difficult life right now? What about the people that just got their houses taken out by tornadoes in the last week? Oh, hurricanes, flooding. Do you know that there's distilleries and there's places that have been around since, since before the turn of the century that are underwater right now. Businesses, 100 people can't go to work. Let's get them funding. Let me know what you think, okay? But it's nonsense that we're paying for this right now, and this is a big deal. Doge just got approved to get access to the Social Security number so they can cross-reference people's numbers. Good, take my social. See if somebody has it. I'm telling you, if you guys have ever been the victim of identity theft or know somebody that's been through that hell, which I have been, you want people guillotined, okay? That would be fitting, okay? Look that up, okay? What a guillotine is, okay? 'Cause I can't show the video here. I want to finish this video with just a reminder. Guys, it's time just to do an accounting of everything, a review of everything. Give you a great story that it will be the last story below, and it's Admiral Insurance. Admiral Insurance is talking about how they have had over 200 claims in 2024 for stolen jewelry that were undervalued, where people didn't look at the value of what it costs to have an expensive watch, gold, rings, grandma's jewelry, everything like that. Not that you have that, but this is just another reminder. What does your health insurance cover? What happens if you have a heart attack? What does it cost for you to go to the hospital? What is your out-of-pocket expense? Can you afford that? Can you change your policy? What about your auto insurance? Florida's trying to change to a get rid of their no-fault insurance and make it so that each person that is responsible for the accident is going to pay. It's going to be a very, very interesting time. But what you have to look at is everybody doesn't want to pay. Nobody wants to pay for everything. So make sure you have everything stocked up in your house. Make sure your team is set. And if you are by yourself and you have just you and your pet, or you by yourself, make sure you have everything you need that you could live for an extended period of time. Reminder after reminder after reminder. Floods after floods after floods. Business is not doing well right now as a whole. When you have beer companies going out of business, pizza companies, all these things that people generally go, you know what? I deserve a beer. I deserve a break. I deserve to go out and get pizza. Okay? And they're going down for the count. This should be reminder number one for you. But when you hear about insurance companies saying that people just sit there and pay the premiums and don't think about it, and then they find out that the watch is worth 40 grand and they had it insured for 5, that is devastating, guys. That's absolutely devastating. So don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, email me hello@iallegedly.com. A lot more to show here. I'll be here for a few days, okay? But let me know what you think, guys, okay? Onward and upward. I will see you very soon.